Hi, my name is Melissa DeWeese, and I am an agency owner for a small agency, and I am here to talk about being a woman and being a entrepreneur. And in today's video, I want to discuss nurturing. So, out there in business, for some reason, I have gotten the impression that I have to be a certain way and I have to act a certain way and I have to prioritize certain services over others. And I have realized that I need to look within myself and provide the services that I find most valuable and that my clients find the most valuable. And that I will always attract and retain those clients that value those services over others. And one of those is nurturing. So, as a female, I tend to be very nurturing with my clients. I want to take care of them. I want to nurture them from the implementation and the sales process all the way through to the end until their next renewal and next renewal and next renewal, and retain those clients as long as possible. And I've been able to do that throughout my career, and many of my clients have been with me for 10 plus years, which is above average. And I think that is because I am extremely nurturing. And I have just recently decided to go all in on that and own it and know that I am different than other agencies out there, and that's okay and that's good, and I will attract more and more of those clients that value those skills and that energy and the service that I put into being as nurturing as possible. When we think about insurance, because that's what my agency focuses on, is insurance for businesses. It is an extremely masculine, male dominated industry. A lot of people think of men and briefcases and hard and really aggressive sales and getting screwed over and having to fight with insurance companies. There's a lot of negative connotations wrapped around insurance. And how I approach it with my clients is that I work for my clients. I do not work for the insurance company. And there is a female way of insurancing. So the female way that I insurance is, like I said, through nurturing. So in the beginning of the process, the way that I do that in the implementation process is be completely transparent as possible, and ask a lot of questions to make sure that the client understands what they're getting and and set expectations and what I'm able to provide. And then I build rapport and I build trust by hitting my deadlines. I find it extremely important, and I really encompass this in nurturing, is meeting my deadlines and building trust. Because if I'm not meeting those deadlines, I'm causing stress. And for me, stress is the opposite of nurturing, of taking care of. I see stress as an extremely negative thing, especially when it's involving health and insurance and finances. I want to make sure that all of my clients know exactly where they are and they're getting information as quickly as possible. So, for example, one of the things that I do is as soon as I receive a renewal, I look at it, I do a very high level overview email, and I send it to the client immediately. Of course, there's more detailed reports that will follow, and I will put that in my communication to my client at renewal, but I want them to know what the increase is as soon as possible. Now, in the past, when I've had other mentors, they advised me not to do that, and I know other people do not like that. Other agencies do not adhere to that. It is because they're afraid of the client taking that information, getting fearful, and then sharing it with another broker. However, I look at it as though as long as I am letting the client know that I am looking at other options already, and I already have that rapport and I already have that trust with them, I don't really worry about it too much. I also look at it as it's not my money. It's their money. If they need to brace for a 20% increase, they need to brace for a 20% increase if they really want to keep that carrier. And I need to tell them as soon as possible so that they can budget and make changes if they have to. So I look at it like it's not my money and they need to know what their increase is sooner rather than later. Of course, we're going out to the market and we're looking at all options and trying to get that down for negotiating and doing all of those things. But again, I like to tell them as soon as possible what the worst case scenario is so that they can brace for impact if need be. I also nurture the employees. So one of the most stressful and frustrating things is when an employee has an issue with an insurance company, they call the number on the back of their ID card and they're on hold for hours, or they're getting round robin. They're just calling this number and getting transferred over here and getting hung up on, and going over here and getting transferred over there and getting hung up on and calling again. And next thing you know, they've spent 8 hours and they're frustrated and they're angry and they hate their insurance. And why am I spending money on this? And why is the employer spending all this money on this? And now they hate their insurance. They don't value the benefits, which you're spending tons of money on. And now they've wasted an entire day of work. And they may be wasting more time that you're not even aware of from being mentally checked out. And the technical term for that is presenteeism in the world of HR, where you've got a loss of productivity. The employee is actually at work, but they're not being productive because they're thinking about maybe thousands of dollars they owe for health bills, or they're worried about this bill that they're receiving, or their spouse is freaking out about health bills, or there's something going on where that's taking up mind share, that's taking up mental energy, that's taking away from work. So part of nurturing, and me as a female business owner, I prioritize nurturing my clients and nurturing their employees as well, and doing what I can to take that off their plate. I may not be able to eliminate the bill completely, but we can promise that we are going to make sure that the insurance is paying the bill. The insurance that you are paying for is going to be paying the bill correctly. We verify that. We also make sure that all the information the insurance needs to process the bill is received, and that any communication issues between the employee, the patient, the doctor's office or the provider, and the insurance company, all of those lines of communications are open, and the insurance company is receiving everything that they need to get the claim paid, and not having the employee sit on hold for hours and hours and hours. That's exactly what we want to avoid, and doing what we can to minimize stress and reassure the employee, set expectations, realistic expectations with the employee, so that they can get back to work and be as productive as possible through perhaps a very hard time they may be going through. So these are just a few examples as to how I have embraced being a female business owner and working within my skill set as a woman, and understanding that I am going to approach problems differently. I'm going to approach services within my business differently, and that's okay. It's completely fine, and I hope that you found this information useful. If you have anything to share, please comment down below. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. Also share the video if you know someone that you think would find it valuable. I also have a free benchmark report. There's a link down below. It's a very brief questionnaire where I ask about employer size, region, and industry, because that's the information we need to complete the benchmark report, and it's 100% free. You will be able to compare your benefits to the averages out there, and the idea is to adjust your benefit strategy to be as efficient as possible and attract and retain top talent. So thank you for hanging out until the end, and we will see you next time.